Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today on the Dungeon Dive, we will take a look at Keep the Heroes Out. This is a cooperative deck building dungeon defense game. This game was provided to the Dungeon Dive by the publisher, so thank you for that. Okay, so the back of the box of Keep the Heroes Out says, "It's not as if we are evil. We have no desire for world conquering or any megalomaniacal schemes, really. Some of us just want a place to chill. Okay, maybe we trapped a teenager or two in the dungeon to teach them a lesson about trespassing. But then, all of a sudden, we are on the guild's bulletin board and it's fair game to every so-called hero to invade our home and plunder our treasure. I say, not on my watch." So as I said, Keep the Heroes Out is a tower defense, a dungeon defense game in which the heroes will be playing the monsters. And the monsters are separated into different factions. We have a faction of a dragon. We have the lizard folk. We have the ratkins, the witches, the imps, the poltergeists, the slimes, and the gnolls. And I am playing my solo game right now with the skeletons. Each one of those factions will start with a starting deck of 10 different cards. Each faction has their own starting deck. And the cards, it is a pretty standard deck builder. So all of the cards in the game will have the same back there. So when you build your deck, they all look the same. And the cards will dictate your actions that you can take based on the various icons. Usually it's a combination of moving or attacking, or using one of the special abilities in each of the dungeon rooms. Each of the factions is also represented by a number of adorable little meeples. Here we have the imps, we have the ratkins, the gnolls, the poltergeists, the slimes there, the lizard folk, and the witches. I love these little witch meeples. Those are so cute. And the dragon. So the dragons faction, there's only one unit. It's a one big dragon. Whereas the ratkins have the most, and they have about 8 or 9 different units in their faction. The other factions have from 2 to 6. So at the beginning of the game, after you've chosen your faction and you've taken your starting deck of cards, you will also pick a scenario. So it's pretty interesting. This game has 20 different scenarios, and there is a really good variety to how they are set up. So you will look at your scenario book and you will set up the dungeon in a certain way. And then each scenario also has a number of special rules, and the scenarios get more complex as they go. You can play a group of scenarios in a little kind of campaign if you want to, and it suggests a certain order that you might want to play them in, or you can play any of the scenarios in a standalone game. For this game right now, for the example, I am playing scenario 1, and that is the Witch's Cauldron. So this says, you have no idea how hard it is to find a dungeon that has no necromancer for a landlord. Sure, they offer great rates if you don't mind waking up dead or undead with your head stitched on a rhino's armpit. So personally, I would choose a witch instead any day. Yes, they are known for being a little eccentric, but who can blame them? I was living on a very strict frog-based diet. I'd too get hangry from time to time. So once you choose your scenario and once you set up your board with all of your tokens, you will also add some specific scenario cards to the guild deck. And each one of these cards, these scenario cards, has a number at the top right corner that tells you which scenario they are part of. Your guild deck is a deck of cards that represents the heroes coming out. And it also has your scenario cards in the guild deck. And so when a scenario card is drawn, it will trigger one of the special rules in that scenario. In this particular scenario, my witch is brewing frog stew. And so I need to provide the witch with a certain number of frogs or some bad things happen. You can generate frogs are a resource, and there are 4 different resources in the game, and those resources can be generated in various dungeon rooms. For instance, up here you can generate a book, here you can generate a frog, you can generate a trap, you can generate a coin, and you can generate a bone. Traps aren't resources. Traps are things that you can create in this workshop area, and those will prevent the heroes from moving, or they will actually kill a hero. The other four main resources, bones, books, frogs, and money, those can be spent in other rooms to buy your cards that you will be adding to your deck. So there are a number of different kinds of cards that you can buy. You can trade books for potions. You can actually you can trade frogs for potions. So the witch can brew you some frog potions. You can trade books for spells. You can trade bones for enemies, for different kinds of monsters that you can add to your faction. And then there are also weapons and items, and those you trade gold for. Depending on which room you are in, you can use that room's power to exchange the resource for the card. That is how you buy cards for your deck. Now, the hero meeples, these are from an expansion, and that is the Guild Masters Revenge expansion. The Guild Masters Revenge expansion adds a few cards to the decks. It also replaces the hero tokens with very cool hero meeples. And it also allows a player to play the guild, to play the heroes. So then you can turn it into a cooperative game of basically kind of a reverse one versus many game, where it would be, 3 players playing the monsters against 1 player playing the heroes. I have not played this expansion yet, but I am using some of the things from it, especially these little hero meeples. So we have the rangers, we have the wizards, we have the warriors, and we have the thieves there. So let's give a little bit of an example turn. The game is very quick. It plays incredibly well solo, and I have had a blast playing it this morning. Just a very nice, light, and pleasant game, but it can also be pretty difficult. It is a threat management style game, and things can go from bad to worse very, very quickly. So right now I am in the beginning of my second phase. In order to win the game, you have to go through your guild deck, the hero deck, 2 times. So there are 2 waves of enemies attacking your monsters, trying to plunder their treasure. In this particular scenario, the heroes are trying to get to my vault, and they are trying to plunder my level 4 treasure. If they do that, then I immediately lose the game. And the only way to win is to survive 2 waves. So right now I have these cards in my hand. I have 2 monsters that I can use to draw extra cards. I can use that one to defend or to attack. I have these boots here that I can use to move. I can move as many monsters in one room as I want to, and I can also trigger a room's special ability. I can spawn a skeleton or trigger a special ability. Or this is a cool card that the skeletons have, where I can kill a hero and replace them with one of my skeletons. However, all 6 of my skeletons are out on the board right now, so that won't be very helpful. But I think what I want to do is I want to kill this archer who's in my vault, because each of the treasures has a number on it. And if there are ever a number of active heroes in the room equal to or greater than that number on the treasure, then they get to plunder that treasure. So I'm going to activate my tiger here. I will draw a card and I will kill that archer. So the archer is dead. All the heroes only have 1 HP, and I'll draw a card into my hand. Okay, so my next card, I think I will draw a card for this skeleton up here, and I will kill that wizard. So I'll draw that card and I will kill that wizard. So now all of the heroes are dead. So I'm in a pretty good shape right now, actually, in this game. And let's see what else I will do. I am going to use this, my bow, to move. So I will move this skeleton here. I will use my boots to trigger this room's special ability, which allows me to generate a bone. So I'll place my bone resource there. And I think I'll use this card here to use the library's special ability to generate a book. And I'm going to use one of these cards to recycle the loot row here, so I can try to get some items. I'm trying to get a couple items here. So let's see here. I will draw 3 more. So there are always 5 cards that you can buy. So we have this spell there. We have some kind of a mole rat thing that you can hire, and another scroll. So no items, but that's okay. Okay, so let's see. That I think I'll hold on to this card. So that is the end of the heroes or the monster's turn. You immediately draw up to a hand of 5. So this is my new hand here. And now it is the hero's turn. And the heroes will draw a card and 2 archers. So an archer spawns in each one of these mystical rooms. The rooms all have a different icon in the top left corner, and that is so you know where the heroes spawn. So the first archer will spawn in this room, and the second archer will spawn in this room. So the archers have a special ability where they will shoot into an adjacent room closest to the vault. In this case, this archer would shoot through here, and it would shoot at my skeleton, killing that skeleton. This archer here would shoot into this room, killing that skeleton. So that archer took out 2 skeletons. And now the active heroes go. If a hero is active in a room with the skeleton, they become inactive and they kill one of your enemies. They kill one of the monsters. That one will kill 1 monster. So in that turn, I lost 4 skeletons. So things come and go pretty quickly in this game. And that was all of the monsters' turns. It's kind of like Small World in a sense, where each thing on a dungeon room stops the heroes in their tracks for a limited amount of turns. And so you're trying to put things down in the rooms leading to your vault to stop the heroes in their tracks. So now we go on to the second card of this phase, and we have the wizard. So the wizard will come out into 2 of these little bone rooms here. So one will come out there, and the other will come out there. The wizard's special ability is if anything was in this room here, which is off the camera, this is a jail cell. If there are of any heroes in the jail cell, then the wizard can help break them out. And so what happens here is you can have a whole bunch of heroes in the cell, kind of like a horde of heroes. And then the wizard can break them all out at the same time, in which you have a lot of heroes to deal with, kind of like this bum rush of heroes. Okay, so the wizards are now active in their rooms. They have nothing to impede them in that room. So they will each charge. When a hero charges into a room with an inactive hero, that inactive hero stands up, they get invigorated, and they get to go again. And so one of these heroes would kill that monster there. And then he would move into the vault there. And then this particular wizard would also move into the vault. So at the beginning of this scenario, there were treasure chests that were placed on these cards here, and those treasure chests stopped the heroes in their tracks as well. But the heroes have already plundered those treasures, so now they're moving in really quickly. As the game progresses, it kind of gets faster and faster and more chaotic as it goes. But that was a sample turn, and so now I would need to deal with those archers and those 2 wizards there, but right now I only have 1 skeleton out on the board. And so I need to try to bring out more skeletons. I need to try to get more loot and more things in order to stop the heroes from plundering my treasure room. So yeah, that is, in a nutshell, that is Keep the Heroes Out. I have had a lot of fun. It's a very simple game to learn. It's a very easy game to play. Once you kind of learn how the heroes move and what stops the heroes and for how long, there is a flow chart that shows the basic hero movement. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. A couple turns, you will have it down pat, no problem at all. Very, very fun game. I'm looking forward to play. I think this would be a lot of fun to play with a group. I'm going to probably take this to our next pub meetup that some friends of mine have, and see if they want to play it. It looks like a little kids game, but it's not. I just think it looks charming, and I love games that look charming. I love these meeples. I love the art, and I just like how fun this game is. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at Keep the Heroes Out. We will talk to you later. Bye bye.